had a full jury trial since this pandemic began, and that is no small matter. That plays a major role into what it is that we are seeing today. And because we see justice delayed as we are seeing it, our criminals are becoming more brazen, more bolder in their actions. They have escalated their activities and behaviors to be more violent. We've seen motives in these senseless acts range from domestic issues to child abuse, to road rage, to narcotics. Nevertheless, our officers at the New Orleans Police Department and our partners at the state and federal level have remained committed to bringing these individuals to justice. We saw an example of that brazen pattern just this morning, in which a carjacking, or what we believe may have been a carjacking, has escalated to a homicide of a female in the 1500 block of North Durgeonwar. We have since released a photo of a person of interest, and we're asking that if anyone has any information on this individual to please contact us. Homicide at 658-5300 or Crime Stoppers anonymously. But something like this morning should have never, ever occurred. In the past 2 weeks, we've investigated as many as 9 homicides, which have resulted in 4 arrests or warrants. 23 non-fatal shootings, 6 of which have been cleared by arrest or by warrant. 15 armed robberies, with 8 cleared by arrest or warrant. I just want to give you an update on a few of the cases that we've seen over the last few weeks. Let's begin with Delaware Street, 500 block of Delaware Street. Earlier today, our VOWs unit, Violent Offender Warrant Squad, and the U.S. Marshals arrested a Mr. Dontrell Brown. Mr. Dontrell Brown is 20 years of age. He was wanted for the homicide of Ms. Tadriana Peters in the 500 block of Delaware. He was booked with 1 count of second-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder, as 2 male adults sustained gunshot wounds as well. This is still an active investigation, and I would like to thank VOWs. I would like to thank our partners at the U.S. Marshals. But I also would like to thank Sheriff Jimmy Pullman and his team at the St. Bernard's Sheriff's Office. We could not have solved this case without them. That hard work with them and our homicide detectives, and this is a clear indication. This shows you that although we as law enforcement agencies, we may have boundaries, the criminals do not have boundaries. But it would take all of us working collectively to solve these crimes. And this is exactly what occurred with this particular crime, working with the Sheriff's Office, working with the U.S. Marshals to locate this individual. On yesterday, within hours after a homicide on Chase Street, detectives quickly identified and arrested a suspect in an early morning homicide in the 8600 block of Chase Street, in which a 17-year-old was arrested, identified and arrested, and booked with second-degree murder and obstruction of justice. And these were friends. This particular case involved friends, 2 individuals that knew one another. Going this past weekend, today our 7th district officers released a video and photos of multiple subjects believed to have been involved in the shooting incident of 9 victims in the 10,100 block of South I-10 Service Road that left 9 people injured. As you know, we still have 1 female that is in critical condition. This was a party, which you have all reported already, in which partygoers or attendees were fired upon. We have not established a firm motive at this time. This case is open and active, so we're asking anyone who has any information to contact 7 district detectives at 658-6070, or again, contact us at Crime Stoppers, 822-1111. I want to mention a few other arrests that we've made over the last few weeks, the last 2 weeks specifically. First District arrested 2 juveniles for possession of firearm, a 40 caliber and a 9mm this past weekend. Second and Sixth District arrested Jeremy Williams and LaRon Davis immediately after responding to a call of shots being fired in the area of Clara and Amelia, in which a stolen gun and a stolen vehicle were recovered. Third District arrested Mervyn Bailey immediately after committing a carjacking in the 1600 block of Burbank. Seventh District arrested a 15-year-old after a 10-hour crime spree that resulted in a 15-year-old being booked with 3 counts of armed robbery, 2 counts of simple kidnapping, and 1 count of aggravated battery and armed carjacking. And of course, you know, as well as our public integrity FIT team arrested individual for officer-involved shooting in which this individual shot his sister and shot at 2 of our officers. So we have been very engaged, very busy and very, very engaged. So these are just a few of the numerous arrests that we have made here at the New Orleans Police Department over the last couple of weeks. Our homicide division, who right now has a solve rate of approximately 56, 57% rate, has 11 individuals out currently wanted for homicides, and we will be releasing those names to you by the end of the day. We want the citizens of New Orleans to know that we remain engaged, and our officers are actively pursuing these individuals that are involved in these violent crimes. These arrests are occurring, and they're occurring rapidly, quickly. I want to thank our officers. The men and women of the New Orleans Police Department have been working tirelessly to keep our city safe. I know that the judge, a lot of people have been wanting to judge our department on their clearance rate. And I can tell you in every district, they have been pushing very hard to solve these cases. And in many cases, finding themselves rearrested some of the same individuals. But that is a part of our job. We have been consistent throughout this global pandemic. We have been consistent throughout the civil unrest. We have been consistent even when facing personal challenges, meaning our officers facing personal financial challenges as a result of city furlough at one point in time. But nevertheless, they have stayed the course, and I want to commend them for their hard work. And I believe once the courts are fully operational for judicial proceedings, we will see these individuals who have been accused of these violent crimes be held more responsible for their actions. I would like to remind our citizens that crime cameras do, in fact, work, and they have been instrumental in solving many of the cases that we have solved thus far. So please, if you are interested in making our city a little bit safer, I would recommend that you look at SafeCam NOLA at safecamnola.com to see if you can obtain some cameras to be a part of the solution. I want to thank our partners at the Real-Time Crime Center for the hard work that they do in getting us the evidence that is needed to hold these individuals accountable for their actions. And as I would always say every opportunity that I get, if you see something, please say something. Again, if you do not want to speak to us or report to us directly, you can do it anonymously through Crime Stoppers. With that being said, I will answer any questions. Gary? We would like to speak to every individual that's in that video. No, that's all I can really say at this point in time. And, you know, she's in critical condition, and we're continuing to monitor her conditions daily. Mm-hmm. I mean, definitely be vigilant, be aware of your surroundings at all times. Unfortunately, we're facing a brazen criminal. I want to also let our citizens know that this is not something that is just happening in New Orleans. This is not unique to New Orleans. This is happening across the country. We are faced with a fragmented criminal justice system as a result of the global pandemic, And I think you will see within the next few months, as our courts begin to fully uh, open, you will start seeing individuals held accountable, and as such, you would hopefully start seeing a difference in the behaviors of these individuals.
Chief, with that homicide this morning
Hmm.
on Georgia 1, do you believe that the victim was targeted or was this just a random crime of opportunity?
We really don't know at this time. You know, we released that still shot, that photo of this person of interest. I mean, I think it was a great photo. So I'm hoping, I'm optimistic that we will be able to bring this individual in and hopefully determine just that, was she specifically targeted or what was this about? But right now, we really do not know.
Um, in light of this morning's tragedy on North Georgia Law, I think a lot of neighbors, not just in that neighborhood, but across the city are going to see that. And by all indications, I know you guys are investigating, but from what we're hearing, this may have just been a victim on her way to work this
Yes.
morning, brutally killed. What do you say to neighbors who are very concerned about this?
Partner up with your neighbors. Be attentive with your family members as well. Make sure someone is watching you. I mean, that could have been my mother. That is the way I look at it. That could have been my mother. And thinking in that way, you know, I try to think of ways in which my mother could be safe, meaning having someone to watch her as she go to her car or come back, you know, returning home and she's coming into her residence from work. So we are doing our best in being visible and being into the community, you know, through our geographical deployments strategies that we have formulated. But we just have to partner up with one another as family members, as neighbors, as the great community that we are, and watch one another's back.
You know, I know NOPD has a lot of state and federal partners. Do you feel like y'all have enough people on the force to really tackle this issue of violent crime, the uptick that we're seeing?
I would always love to have more officers. Believe, you know, when I joined this department, we had well over 1,700. So, you know, we have seen a sharp, a drastic drop in officers within our department. So we definitely need more, and we ask that, you know, please join NOPD.org. We ask any and everyone that is interested in making our city safe to join us and be a part of the problem. I mean, be a part of the solution and not the problem. I'm sorry.
You mentioned that a lot of these individuals are being re-arrested, and we know one of
Hmm.
the juveniles yesterday was just incarcerated 2 days before they were released and arrested again. How often are you seeing this, and is this a big problem? What do you think can be done to address this revolving door of juvenile crime?
We won't see this revolving door end until our judicial system has fully become operational again. It is very demoralizing to the officers, of course, but we just have to keep doing what we can within our power as law enforcement officers. I mean, remaining engaged, remaining vigilant as we patrol our streets, our communities, our neighborhoods. But it's demoralizing, but we can't stop, and we have not stopped.
Um, I know that last week that you guys announced Operation Golden Eagle and
Hmm.
partnering with the state police. Any update on where those officers are going to be, and are you confident that this is going to make a big difference going into the summer months?
I'm very optimistic that it will make a difference, but I cannot get into the details again. Besides the fact that our crime trends will dictate to us how we would deploy that operation.
And a quick follow-up, any update on the motive of the Delray Street Dontrell Brown?
That is still under investigation.
Matt? Was Dontrell Brown arrested here in New Orleans or somewhere else?
He was arrested here in New Orleans.
Last question? All right, thank you.
All right, thank you all.